So today, you and I are going to cover some material that was so seemingly devastating that it scared AH and her sister. How do we know that? Because you and I, we have the text message exchanges. That's right. This is from Whitney, AH's sister, to somebody that she's calling her chosen sister. I mean, that's how close they are. And the stuff that they reveal in it, buckle up, buckaroos, because this is going to be a fun ride. So hey there. Now, over the last few weeks, you and I have seen some fascinating proclamations that have come out of one case leading to another that, well, in my instance at least, you try to keep little ones away from. Why? Because it cuts through escapism and it shows you the people that you're truly dealing with. Luckily for us, the truth has been made manifest from people like Jennifer Howe, who were close enough to AH and her sister that they actually considered them family. See, Jennifer Howe was not only an ex-employer of AH's sister Whitney, but was a family friend, and she knew a lot that was going on. And that, it scared AH's sister. You can see this in text exchanges like this. Oh hey, J-Ho. Love and miss you too. Sorry for the delay. In the UK at present, so the time difference is a bleep. What's new with you? After a substantial amount of days passes, you see this come in on Sunday, July 26th at 3:31 a.m. Hey, chosen sister. So you see again how she's referred to. I'm so sorry for the late text. As you know, I'm in the UK for court. Can you please call me when you have a chance when you wake up? I've gotten some calls from the Sun's legal team about you possibly getting involved and giving evidence to Johnny Depp's team. I told the Sun that there's no way that this could be true, but I just wanted to talk to you. No matter what, I love you. And just to make this a little bit spicier, notice this from Johnny Depp's lawyer. Riddle me this. How did the Sun already know at 11:31 a.m. on Sunday, July 26th, 9 hours before I ever received a sworn declaration in an American case, that I was talking on an American phone, talking to an American witness? Hashtag history of hacking. Good stuff, huh? Good stuff indeed. Now, Jennifer Howe responds to AH's sister with the following. You are my chosen sister. Again, notice that in wording, chosen sister. And I love you with my entire heart. I was served 2 subpoenas yesterday. I was questioned and just told them the truth as I know it. I would never lie in any court proceeding or anything else. My one and only concern in any of this is you. I have a letter I have written to you, and I'm going to give it to you tomorrow. I hope you know how much I love you, and protecting you is something I will do now and always. Now, AH's sister, she responds with the following, plus a snippet we don't get all of, but you can see where this is going. Jen, why wouldn't you talk to me first? Adam Waldman is a vindictive liar who is trying to bring down my family and is willing to do anything to do so. He can and will use anything you say, good or bad, to hurt us. Who do we know that's described like that before? Then Jennifer Howe gets attacked here. Jen, there is no way you were served 2 subpoenas. Just talked, I'm imagining, to the other lawyers there. And well, we don't know what's there now, but I'm sure we'll find out later on in court proceedings. Now, the thing that AH's sister fears, it's the declaration of one Jennifer Powell. Plus, we're going to get an email from Jennifer Powell after this because she does not like the way AH's sister responds. The first part here, this is standard protocol. She's over 18. She's not a party to this. This is all firsthand personal knowledge, and she would testify to this if needing to. She also notes Whitney H., whose maiden name is also another Whitney H., is a dear friend. She has told me that I'm her quote-unquote chosen sister. I also call her my quote-unquote chosen sister. And you've seen that in the exchanges, so you can see how close they are. Third part, Whitney worked for me at the nonprofit organization that I founded 22 years ago and run called the Art of Elysium. We take artists and help them be of service to communities in need. We serve over 30,000 individuals in need each year. Whitney volunteered for the organization in 2014 for about 6 months, and she worked full-time as a paid employee for me from 2015 to 2016, where Whitney served as the art salon manager/director. I have learned that Whitney testified in court July 23rd in London about a violent incident in March 2015 on the stairs at Johnny Depp's penthouse. She testified that Johnny supposedly hit AH and Whitney on the stairs at Johnny's downtown penthouse. Then Whitney said she had to go live with her employer where she had to sleep on the floor. I'm that employer. This is not what I was told to be true. First, Whitney came to live in the guest room of my apartment on Wilshire Boulevard, not on the floor, but in my guest room. Second, when Whitney arrived, she was a mess. Whitney told me she tried to stop her sister, A.H., from hitting and attacking Johnny on the stairs. Whitney said when she tried to intervene to stop A.H. from going after Johnny, A.H. nearly pushed Whitney down the steps. She told me she was worried A.H., quote, was going to kill Johnny. She told me she had endured that kind of abuse in her entire life, first from her father, then from A.H., who she said was extremely violent. She lived with me because she did not feel she could go back to living at the Eastern Columbia building. My father reminded me this morning that I told him that, quote, Whitney had moved in with me because she was terrified of her sister, unquote. While Whitney was living with me, she told me Johnny kept checking in to see how she was doing, and that he called her sis and she called him brother. Whitney said to me on multiple occasions that she did not know why he was staying in the relationship, nor why he was putting up with A.H.'s abuse. Whitney shared with me the damages endured by both her and A.H.'s children and the injuries she had suffered from A.H. both psychologically and physically. Whitney was devastating during this time, and my heart broke for her. When Whitney came back from New York, I believe it was for Tribeca Film Festival, the Adderall Diaries premiere, or both, she shared with me and everyone in the office that A.H. freaked out, attacked Whitney, and threw a wine glass full of red wine at her in an elevator. When A.H. and Johnny were in Australia, Whitney was in the office sitting in the black and white chairs near the kitchen and loudly proclaimed, "Oh my God, she's done it now. She's cut off his bleeping finger." Fascinating. I knew Paige, A.H. and Whitney's mother. Paige shared with me while visiting Whitney that Elon Musk had gifted a Tesla, or multiple Teslas, not sure if it was one or more, but A.H. found out that they were quote-unquote bugged. Paige told me that A.H. said Elon was controlling, abusive, and she was in a legal battle with him over the rights to embryos that they had created together. He wanted to destroy them, and A.H. tried to keep them to have a baby. Paige told me that Johnny was either an angel or a saint compared to Elon, and she wished that A.H. and Johnny would reconcile. Paige also told me the reason Johnny and A.H. broke up was because A.H. was violent and emotional and loved Johnny so much that she could not control it. I was indeed taken aback because this conversation occurred after the divorce when Hunter was only a few years old and I was at Whitney's house. Whitney told me that A.H. and Johnny were still in touch and that they were each other's true loves or something to that exact sentiment. Whitney was still going through emotions of having had a baby and all of those ups and downs, and I could not believe that A.H.'s and Johnny's relationship was being discussed while Whitney was the one who needed to be the focal point and needed our support. When A.H. got into legal trouble regarding smuggling the dogs into Australia, she asked me to write her a character reference about her charity work, and I did. We had given her a humanitarian award. She volunteered with the charity and attended events for the charity. I'm still grateful for that. I knew nothing about her personal life beyond closed doors until I became close with Whitney. When A.H. was in trouble with the Australian authorities, she asked me to write a character letter in support of her, which I did. I wrote on behalf of A.H. for volunteering with the charity. Later, when A.H. and Johnny were divorcing, $7 million of the proceeds was supposed to go to charity. I learned that none of it would be directed at Art of Elysium, which A.H. had been closely associated with for years. Instead, I understood it would all go to the ACLU and the L.A. Children's Hospital. I asked A.H.'s publicist why, and she and A.H. had been so eager to use our names in press during the divorce, and when the funds would mean so much to a small organization like ours, Would AH direct all the money to those two huge charities that she had not been associated with? AH's publicist told me that they were more prominent charities with more significant press reach and got international press. Then months later, a $250,000 donation came into our organization from an anonymous donor on behalf of AH. The funds did not come from AH. I believe the donation came from Elon. Years later, on July 24th, 2020, I received 2 summons from Johnny's attorney after Whitney testified about sleeping on my floor following the stairs incident. The following day, I spoke with Johnny's attorney, Adam Waldman, for the first time. I told him the stories of my experiences with Whitney, Paige, and AH, and he asked me to give this declaration. I shared the names of the Arts of Elysium staff who worked during the same time as Whitney, who also heard these things and more and willingly gave access to my emails, texts, and confirmed dates and timelines of all that was stated. They give the date, and wow, this is going to play like a bombshell come January 2021 when AH and Johnny Depp square off. Now, the Daily Mail, they end up reporting on this, and after it comes out, AH's sister says the following: "This is complete fiction. Jennifer Howell's statement does not bear any relationship to the truth, and I have no idea why she is saying this," and that it did not set well. Now, Jennifer Howell fires back with this email on July 28th, 2020 at 8:01 a.m. and wow, this thing is fiery. "I was just giving the statement you made about me to the press. Wow, Whitney, if you want to call me a liar while you are under oath, then I promise you that I will prove in every way that I am not lying. You questioning my integrity, my honesty, the sincerity that I take with my word is desperate at best. Again, there are 20 plus people that heard everything that you said. I've opened my home, heart, life to you, and have never been anything but honest and loving with you. I let you in when you told me you needed to be protected from your sister. I love you and am doing everything in my power to do what is right for you, and you call me a liar. Wow. Firework display indeed. Now, to close this out, I want to mention our comic book, Another Case for the Littlest Umbrella. It's in demand right now, meaning we're finalizing it, and while we do, you can still pick it up. We need your help getting the word out too, because talking about due process, talking about industry problems, yeah, that creates problems of its own, but that's okay. I don't care about those people that cover it. I care about you. So check that out, and thank you. I also want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting channels like this. You make these endeavors possible. No one else, you do. So thank you for being here. Not enough people say that. Appreciate the heck out of you, and we'll see you again very soon.